sense.
Mhm. Hello, everyone. It's me, Tracy, and welcome to our Thursday Night Live with So Supportive. I am here with Lori Baker, my very dear friend, former coworker, and all around amazing quilter. And I am just so stinking excited that you said yes and decided to come and join me.
And I'm so excited to be here. I just can't tell you how much I've been looking forward to talking to
I
you.
know, I know. So I guess I should like officially introduce you because you actually have a title now. You're now acquisitions editor for
Yes,
Quilt Pattern Magazine.
the Quilt Pattern magazine. Yes.
Yes. And so how long have you been doing that?
I've been working on the magazine portion for about a year now. I was doing her Facebook. I can't even think what my title, administrator for her Facebook group. It's Heather Valentine's Facebook
Mhm.
group, and she's delightful, by the way.
Yes.
And I've been doing the magazine for about a year, and that's just a trip. It's a digital magazine,
Hmm.
and it's there are things that are different than the printed magazine that you and I worked on,
Yeah.
um, but there's a lot of stuff the same, and I love um, being able to be in touch with the quilty world again.
I completely understand. I completely understand. So Lori and I used to have our desks were right next to each other, and we used to be able to talk to each other through our wall. And well, and I guess before that we both had, offices, but they were a little away, but we were still close enough to like walk by and say hello and check in and all of that. So I kind of miss that a lot.
Yes, yes.
And let's see. Oh, we got some comments. So Frances Burlingham says hi. And Mary G says hello there. And if you're watching, feel free to drop a comment and we can see your comment. And if you have questions for Lori or me too, go ahead and drop your questions. But we're just going to chat here for a while. And gee, gosh. So I kind of want to go back. So people may know us both because we did the Quilt and Tell podcast together.
Right.
And I told Lori that one of the most common comments that I get on YouTube is about you and Ginger and Quilt and Tell and how much people still miss the podcast.
Right.
And we miss the podcast too.
Yes.
It was so much fun.
It was fun.
But Lori and I were talking about how funny it is because to us we were just in a room talking into a microphone and that was it, so when it kind of took off we were surprised because we were just talking into a microphone and then leaving. And
Right.
someone else did all the editing and all of that and added in the ads and commercials and things like that. And so we were just kind of sitting around talking about quilting. So what was one of do you have any oh, and Francis says I miss Quilt and Tell. What was one of you, do you have any favorite memories from doing the show?
Oh, man. Yeah, I think so. I think the most interesting thing was when we did our jackets, our quilted jackets,
Yeah.
and to see how different they were.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting.
Yes. Yes. And that was weird for me because I felt so disconnected. I had shingles right before that. And so I
Right.
was actually on leave until we filmed. And I think if we weren't filming, I may have still been on leave at
Right.
least a week because I was still not quite. And it's the
Not
photo
even.
that I dropped for our thumbnail was from that day.
Right. Yeah.
And I was just glad we had makeup artists because
Yes. Yeah, makeup artists are a fine thing, aren't they?
yes, they are. And Michelle Friedman saved me because she sent me a quilt sample from Maywood Studio so I could make mine, because I was not even well enough to make panels or anything like that. And I had a vintage cutter quilt that I sort of tested the size, and I just basically made the sleeves in the front and the back, and just to make sure I was choosing the right size.
Right.
But it was a serious cutter quilt. So there's no way that I could even, use that, but I just wanted to size it. And then Michelle saved me by sending me this very warm flannel blanket.
Isn't Michelle a gem?
She is a gem. She is the best. So I think one of my favorite memories from, there was my birthday.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Oh my goodness, that was a huge fun day.
Oh my gosh. I go into the studio to film and I didn't even notice that there was a box under the table that I'm sitting at. And it was literally, we're in this little room, and it's during lockdown. We were still under lockdown. I had to be by myself, right? Because you guys were home.
Yes,
and
we were home.
I was only at the office because I lived across the parking lot. And there's this box under the table. And until you guys said you need to look under the table, I didn't even notice. And there wasn't a tablecloth or anything. Like, it was really obvious that there was a box under
it was the just sitting there. There was a box.
That was loads of fun. And I really loved all the guests we had. It was just so much fun to always plan to have a guest.
Yes.
And to hear their stories and to hear how different everyone was,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that was fantastic. Let's see. We've got Rose says hello too. And so Lori, why don't you tell us what you have been doing? Because you retired.
I retired. I moved. And just a little aside, moving is hard.
Yes.
And it's not just the packing the boxes and putting the boxes in the truck and then unloading the boxes in your new house. It's the finding a new doctor and a new dentist and a new church. And oh my goodness, finding your friends.
Yes.
So yeah, moving was a little tough. But the reason we bought the house that we bought is because it has this huge room in the basement that's big enough for my long arm. And it also had a rhubarb plant. So between those two things, I just knew it was my house.
Sold. Oh my gosh, I love that.
My sewing room has one whole wall that's a design wall, and
jealous.
It's just, it couldn't be more perfect. And what I've been doing, remember that I like to do the pile of quilts for Christmas?
Yes, I was going to ask you how it's going.
The pressure is kind of always on because I need about 20 quilts a year to give away. Well, then I also want some that I really like, so I'm not going to give them away yet.
Yeah.
This year was a really funky year. We had a grandson who got married. Mm-hmm. We had a new grandbaby and a new great grandbaby. So there were 3 quilts that I had to make and have ready by, I think it was the end of March by the time we had weddings and showers.
Yes.
And the grandson's quilt is queen size. I think
the new baby or the wedding. Oh, do I? I probably do.
I think you have a picture of that.
Okay. Which one is it?
It is the red and black one.
Okay. All righty. Let's see. Red and black. I got it. And you sent me a front and a back, right?
I sent a front and a back because I generally make pieced backs, and they're actually more fun for me than the fronts. I get kind of bored doing 20 blocks all the same. Even if They're scrappy. They're still kind of all the same. So just kind of play around when I do that. They're really fun. So you have that picture, and you also have a picture of Arlo's baby quilt. It's the green one.
His name is Arlo?
His name is Arlo.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Isn't that a fun name?
I love it.
And that's the grandbaby, and the great grandbaby.
My goodness.
And then Jesse's is the blue one with Yoda on it.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get this to work. Because I've done this before, but now I don't remember how I did
it. You'll get it.
Oh,
I'll just
I'm going to
keep
click.
talking. Oh,
I'm going to click the image and see if that works. It says, please try again or contact support. What the heck?
Oh,
maybe
well, that's a rude thing to say.
I know, how rude. Right in the middle. Goodness. I'll try it one more time. And if it works, hopefully it works. We're going to go like that. Could not add image. It worked last time, even though I got stuck and couldn't get it to shrink down again. But then again, I was by myself. So let me see. I might be able to share my screen. Let's see. Let's see. Nope. Oh, wait. Yes. Okay. Ready? I think I can do it this way. There we go. Did that work?
That is Dustin's quilt, the grandson who got married. It's hanging on my design wall, and you can see the very edge of my long arm.
Yes.
So that kind of shows that whole wall on the end of the room is design wall.
Wow. All right.
I took the colors for Dustin and Brittany's quilt from their wedding announcement.
Oh, how nice.
I thought, these are colors they like.
Yes.
So that was how I chose them.
Mad Raimuni says gorgeous. Can you guess that maybe that's someone who's associated with me? Maybe
it's perhaps. There is the back, and it's just fun.
When did you start piecing backs like this?
The first pieced back was probably back. I'd have to look at my spreadsheet. Actually, I have a printed copy of my spreadsheet.
Why don't you tell everyone about your spreadsheet while I download some photos? Because that's one thing we talk about on my channel is keeping track of projects.
Okay, so I can this is the front page of my spreadsheet. It has the name of the quilt because I generally name my quilts. It has the year and sometimes even the month and the year that I made it, where it's at now, because I give so many of them away, and then a brief description, and then a picture of the quilt and of the front and back.
Wow.
When they have fronts and backs. I started making quilts, but just a few in the 70s, but I didn't start seriously quilting until in the mid 90s. And then I got...
Which was right around the time I started quilting too, actually.
Yes, that's right. I got a new sewing machine. And some of the kids had gotten married and left home. So I had a little bit of disposable income and a little bit more time than I'd had before. And I am not finding that first quilt. I'm going to guess it was someplace in the late 90s when I started piecing quilts. The backs. My grandmother had always pieced the backs of her quilts because she didn't buy fabric for her quilts. She used cut up garments.
Oh, yeah.
So her backs were generally not 12 or 15 inch squares and just rows of them sewn together and then that's a piece of fabric to put on the back of the quilt.
Wow.
The first one, the quilt that I pieced the back on was a red and black and gray quilt. And for some reason, I pieced blue squares.
Okay.
And I've always hated that because it feels like the back should at least kind of look like it goes
Totally
with
get
the
that.
front.
Get that. The back of this one is the same, because I think it was sort of still during COVID, and I was on such a deadline, and I just grabbed what I had,
Right.
and it's purple, and it clashes.
Yeah, but the front of that quilt is so good. It's lovely, and if you put it on the wall, nobody knows what the back of it is like.
It's on the wall. It's fine.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you. All right. Which quilt would you like me to show next?
Arlo's, the little green one.
Okay. Which
it has machine embroidery, Beatrice Potter art.
Oh yes, I know the one you're talking about now.
He wanted his mama wanted to do Peter Cottontail, so I found machine embroidery to do, and it came out.
So that's machine embroidery?
It's got embroidery in all four corners and then in the center.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember whose embroidery pattern that is?
Oh, no, I don't. But I'm sure that I found it simply by Googling.
Oh my gosh, I will Google that because that's adorable. All right, I think that I might be able to, maybe not. On the last ones, wait, there it goes. Okay, I think I might be able to scroll through.
Oh, yes. Okay, so now that's Jesse's baby quilt. They were doing a space theme.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Yoda in the square, and then I kind of wanted to do a galaxy feel. That's why the scroll goes around with the dark color part of the log cabin blocks. And I quilted it with stars, obviously, because there's stars in space.
Yes.
And both of those two quilts, I put Minky on the back of them.
Oh, love it. And is the Yoda embroidery too?
Yes, I believe the Yoda was an embroidered one. Okay, and now that is the back of the cover quilt.
Okay.
And it's got such a good story.
And that's Audrey.
Yes, Audrey likes to peek around when I'm sewing.
I love her.
So this is my potato chip quilt. And a potato chip, if you don't know, is a rectangular piece of fabric. You cut it so it finishes twice as long as it is wide. My cut pieces were 1.5 inches by 2.5 inches. And I bought a baggie full of those rectangles when I went to a Diane Harris event.
Oh, how brilliant.
It was just stuffed full, and it sat in my sewing room for months and months and months. And finally, I decided I needed to use them. So I made a potato chip quilt. And I was determined to use each and every one of those silly blocks. And I did. If you can see the borders.
Yes.
Are a piano key kind of border, only in the upper left and the lower right, there's a long piece of turquoise, navy. That's because I ran out of 1.5 inches by 2.5 inch rectangles, I thought.
Oh, you thought.
So can you show them the back again, Tracy? Do you see the little yellow rectangle?
Yes.
When I was sweeping the floor the day after I finished the top, here was this one stupid rectangle. So I made the back of the quilt and I sewed that rectangle on the back of the quilt. So I officially used all of the rectangles in that baggie.
I love that.
Isn't that just?
I love it. Tell me the measurement trick again.
It needs to finish twice as long as it is wide.
Gotcha. Okay, because I have 2.5 by, what are they? 2.5 by 4?
They'd be 2.5 by 4.5, so that
Okay.
they would finish at 2 by 4.
Gotcha. That's what I have. So I cut all of my scraps that way. And
Cool.
I love it. And I've got a bunch of blocks done. I just haven't pieced them together. I really need to do that. All right, let's see. What else do we have?
This one is my current favorite.
Mm.
I had vintage linens of things that I literally remember on the sofa when I was a little girl, 5 years old. Remember, they had the little things on the arms of the sofa and then
Yes.
another on the back of the chair.
Yes.
So you could wash those things and your chair still stayed nice and clean. My mom had them, and they had painted red roses. So I had a set of those, and I don't remember anymore how many of those are on that quilt, but it's also got crocheted things. One thing was in my mother-in-law's stuff. She didn't crochet, so I don't know where it came from, but it was beautiful. So that's there. And this one is one of those really good examples of improv, because all the pieces weren't the same size, so you couldn't just do 12-inch blocks. So I kind of just started sewing and made things fit.
Wow.
Love
Incredible.
that one.
I'm guessing you're going to hold on to that one for a little bit.
Yes, that one actually has been done for a couple, 3 years. And it hasn't gone to the pile for the quilts yet.
Okay. I'm going to just read a couple of comments. So Francis says, I love the Yoda quilt. That is so cool. And then Mad Rai said, what a fun story. And I'm guessing that's about the potato chips. And then Francis said, anti-massacres. I'm not sure.
Yes, that's what they were called.
Oh, got you.
That's what they were called. I'd forgotten that.
Okay. She says, not sure if that's how you spell it, but I'm glad I said it the right way.
Yeah, that's one of those things that, they
I've never heard that word before.
Oh, that's cool. So you learned a new word tonight.
I did. I was just thinking doilies. That's what I was thinking. All right, let's see.
Okay, that is, I said the potato chip quilt was the cover quilt. The string piece quilt was the cover quilt.
Yes. I don't think you said it was the cover quilt.
Okay. Yeah. This isn't the photo that was on the cover of the magazine. It's from the same location, just a little different shot. I didn't want to take what was actually on the cover because of copyright stuff,
Right.
But anyway, that one is just string pieced, and I really, really like to do string piecing. It's just kind of mindless.
That's on my list to do soon. I just want to do a string quilt. I just love them. I think they're so fun.
They are. They're just lots of fun.
All right. Maybe we made it to the end of all those?
No, there still should be one more quilt.
Okay. That might be all that I've got. Hold on. Oh, you know what? I know what happened. There's okay, did I stop sharing? Okay. I think that it's, when I sent it to myself, I think that it probably sent it as a link.
Okay, I'll just tell the story about the other one because it's just a funny story. My sister and I took a vacation last summer. Yeah, in 24. We went to Shipshewana, Indiana, and did a Land Ahoy quilt retreat. It's better than a Ships Ahoy because you don't have to go out on the ocean where there's all that water. Anyway, we had a class. We got to take a class from Nancy Mahoney, and we had kits. And our kids had the pieces actually cut, not just a chunk of fabric, but the pieces were cut so we could just start sewing our blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I make my piece backs, I always use the leftovers from the front, but the way the kits were, there weren't any leftovers except the dog ears.
Right.
And my sister gave me all of her dog ears, and I saved all of my dog ears. And then I put them on blocks on the back of the quilt and then covered them with tulle.
Mm-hmm.
So they couldn't go anyplace.
Right.
And that's how that back is made.
So you just trimmed the triangles off and used the dog ears. Okay.
Correct.
Got it. So it wasn't like you did the extra stitch or anything like that to turn it into half square triangles.
Nope.
Oh, fun. See, that's even more fun because then you didn't have to do all that extra work.
That's right. That's right.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So if anybody who's watching has any questions, feel free to drop them. I'm loving all of the comments. We got a correction on the spelling of anti-macassar. Macassar?
I don't even know how to pronounce it. I mean, like I've read it,
yes,
but I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yes. Well, I wish I knew how to pronounce it, so I'm butchering it, I'm sure.
We'll have to Google it after a while and ask it to pronounce it. Some things it will pronounce.
True.
So.
All right. So, oh, you know what? I realized I switched up I switched where I was going live from, and I don't think I put your link that you sent me to the magazine.
Oh.
And so I'll drop that after. So if anyone is interested in learning more about the magazine that Lori works for, I will drop a link so that you can go and get it and check it out.
Yes.
So I will do that as soon as we are done. And so I guess I want to ask you a little bit about, I mean, you're so prolific. You finish so many things. Do you even have any UFOs?
Okay, see, that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about, because when you asked me if I would be your guest, I didn't even know you had a YouTube channel. So I jumped on and I watched all of your things up at current.
Hey, thanks for
in a row. It took
my
me 2
hours
days.
up, my watch hours up.
And I decided I didn't even know how many UFOs I had.
Oh.
So I stopped in the middle of watching all of your things.
Yes.
And I inventoried.
Okay.
And I made a spreadsheet. And I sent you a copy of the spreadsheet to you, and it said I had 21. Well, then I found 2 more. So I've got 23 UFOs. And I rated them.
Yes.
With a 1 to 5, with 1 being won't take too long and 5 being, oh my gosh, this will never get done.
Mm-hmm.
And there's hope for some of them.
Yeah.
There are some that are, I don't know. I have one that's an ABC quilt that I had an embroidery CD, and I got all the things embroidered. But when I look back, I'm a perfectionist, and a couple of them, something went funky with the embroidery and it's not perfect. So I want to re-embroider. And then I lost the CD.
Oh.
Well, when we moved, I finally found the CD again. So that may happen, but again, it may not. There were 2 things on the list that I wrote on one of them, not sure I care.
Not sure
I may not ever finish that one. I don't know that if I care enough to bother with it. And one that said, I need to evaluate.
Hmm.
And the one I need to evaluate is a stack of, I don't know, 20 or so embroidery. It's the fabric with the stamped design on it, so I need to hand embroider.
Gotcha.
Not
Yeah.
sure that's going to happen.
Yeah. So
20 of them?
yeah. I tell you, I got the best comment, and I apologize because I wish I could remember her name. She called whips. Will it proceed?
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Some of them do, and some of them we need to be realistic, and if we're never going to get them finished, we need to give them to somebody that would like to finish,
Yes.
or donate them, or if they're truly awful, throw them in the trash. Did I just say that out loud? I think I did.
Yeah, you did. I mean, when I think about, like, I've got a box right near me, actually, that is probably from when I started quilting. And it's got fabric from the 90s in there. And when I think about whether or not I want to use them, because some of them are still kind of cute, some of them are still, they're not yucky or anything like that, but are those going to bleed? Is my thought,
Yeah.
I mean, so that's some of the things that I think of. And then there's probably, I know I've got at least one or two where I'm like, I don't know that I really like those colors anymore.
Right.
And
those you simply need to donate.
Yeah. Yeah, I get you.
There's sometimes a table at our guild meetings that are things that people are not going to do. So they just go ahead and get donated.
Yeah.
And somebody's almost always willing to pick those up and take them home and do something.
Yeah. We used to do that at Golden Peak sometimes.
Yeah.
I know I picked up one of Anissa's, she just had leftover blocks. I don't know if they were extra or if she decided that she was sick of doing them or something like that. But they were mostly pieced, and it was a whole bunch of little diamonds, like little blocks that were almost like Lone Stars, but they were
small. Okay.
And I thought, well, I'm never going to piece those. Like, I'll take them and I'll do something with them, and I still think they're super pretty. So at some point, I will do something with those, but I don't know if that's crazy. I think my UFOs are now probably around 24-ish as well. I actually just created my a UFO tracker where, see, I'm going old school, Lori. I do paper. But I put all of the steps over here. So it's got, I even started with make a test block because we know.
That's a good idea.
People would write into the magazine because they cut out all the fabric and they either cut it wrong or there was a mistake in the pattern. So I was always like, do a test block. A test block is a good thing. And find out if you even want to make a bunch of those blocks. But then it goes all the way down to, block sewn, the rows are sewn, the rows are joined, all the way down to label sewn and gifted, if gifted is an option, or it was the plan for it. And then I have space on the side to write down the pattern, how big it is, the number of blocks, what kind of fabric it is, if I had any special plans for it, and a little area where it says, where did I leave off? And so my plan is to start working on this to make sure that I actually like this.
Right.
I didn't forget something. But I'm hoping to, I want to put it in a binder so that I can have a binder. And one person who wrote in said that they had a binder where they put all of their UFOs to keep track of them. And then when they finished it, they moved it to the finished binder. And that sounded very satisfying to me.
Yes. And I like that they're keeping track of what they've finished as well as what's ongoing. I was amazed when I started keeping track and made my Excel sheet, because I know there are things I've forgotten.
Oh, I've forgotten stuff. 100%.
And well, part of it is I kind of like, I'm proud of the fact that I've finished more than 400 things.
Mm-hmm.
And now that includes little mug rugs and garments,
Yes.
quilted garments,
Right.
as well as all sizes of quilts. So it's not like there are 400 king size quilts out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to be able to say, here's what I've done.
I wish I had started that. But I probably, knowing myself, I would have started like a million times, or I would have done what you did and had a spreadsheet or something on a computer, and then got rid of that computer and lost my spreadsheet. You know?
Okay, I can tell you something really funny. I am not an Excel expert, and I did something to my spreadsheet. So the bottom 40 or 50 quilts scroll up and down, but the whole top
Oh,
doesn't. It's frozen.
yeah.
Now
Oh,
I know I hit something and I need to undo.
maybe somebody listening can drop a comment on
Right,
what to do,
exactly.
especially when you've got a whole bunch of them like that. Because I remember we used to use, I guess we used like Google, like a Google Drive or something like that at the magazine, and we would put all of the pictures of the quilts. And if you didn't do it right, if you didn't drop it into the cell correctly, it would either float and just sort of hang out there, or it would get real big,
Oh,
or be too small. And I remember that it was definitely a learning curve,
yes.
dropping the photos in the cells.
Yeah. There are several things on computers that are learning curve.
Yes. Yes, I actually just found a template of for a spreadsheet, so I was contemplating trying that as well to see
Right.
if I like that. And I know that there are some people who have been following along in the UFO journey and sewing with me that would prefer a spreadsheet. So that's my goal next, is to build one of those too, that I can help people keep track of their projects as well. But the photos is the tricky part.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and I can't think. I know with Excel you can make the photo stay in that cell,
Hmm.
or you can let it float. And I don't remember what the verbiage is
Yes.
that you have to tell it.
Yeah, I do remember that we had to insert it in the cell or something like that. But anyway,
Anyway,
that's boring.
yeah,
That is boring.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Well, I wish
Exactly.
we had some people who had some questions for you, because that would be loads of fun. But I'm sure that we are going to have questions afterwards for people
Right,
who maybe are still at work or something like that, because we're driving home and
right.
can't log on. But I how how much sewing do you do every single day? Do you sew every day or not every
No,
day?
I don't sew every day. And it's something I'm trying to get better about, because it's real easy to sit down on the computer and get lost in Pinterest or whatever. And pretty soon, oh golly, the day's almost gone.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I'm trying to be more diligent about that. When I worked in Julesburg, I got up 30 minutes early
Mhm.
and I made myself a cup of coffee, and then I sat and sewed. And then when it was really time to wake up, then I'd get ready for work.
Hmm.
And somehow, when I'm not working anymore, that kind of being focused, I'm not doing. I I looked the other day at how many quilts I have for the pile of quilts. Now, the pile of quilts happens on January 1st.
Okay.
I try to have 20 things to put under the tree. I have 13 things done.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear, yes.
Do you have any that are like partials?
I have 3 completed quilt tops that just need quilting.
Okay.
I have one that's log cabin, and I finished the blocks. All I need to do is sew them together in rows and put on a border, and the border's even cut. So it's going to be easy to get the first maybe 5.
Yeah.
And I do have some little things I can put under the tree, but I don't like there to be a whole lot of those.
Yes.
But you know, I've got 4 or 5 that could be table toppers.
Yes. Okay, so what do we have? You have at least 8 weeks, right?
Right.
So you can do 1 a week, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, when you think about it that way, I only need to do 1 a week.
Right.
And that's totally doable.
Okay.
The way I sew, I can start to finish make a quilt in a week.
Okay.
Like cutting out the blocks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I can do the whole thing in a
For
week.
me, it depends on the pattern.
Well, yeah, you'd have to choose the pattern.
I am slow.
Yeah, and I'm very fast.
We've had this conversation about like if we were turtles or rabbits, right?
Yes, and I'm very definite. Well, I have 5 kids, and when all the kids were home, if I got to sew, it was going to be maybe 10, 15 minutes. So I learned to go really fast.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a lot done in 15 minutes if you do it every day.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we've got a couple of comments. So Francis says, I have a UFO spreadsheet, but yours are way more detailed than mine. I have 3 separate pages, WIP UFO, completed, and to do with details of the pattern name and the dates of starting and finishing. And then she said after that, she said, Lori, do you prefer traditional or modern patterns?
I would say that I probably prefer traditional, but then the backs are way pushing the edge toward modern.
Yeah. And I usually answer that question that I like traditional patterns, but I like modern fabrics.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I'm not a fan of like the Civil War fabrics. I do kind of like the 30s reproduction stuff, but then I prefer brights. I like big flowers. But yeah, I like the leaning toward the white side, not toward the brown side.
Yeah. I agree with you. I sure miss like just sitting next to you and getting to talk to you every day or ask you questions as I randomly thought of it.
I know. And I kind of miss
Go ahead.
Getting to hear you talk, maybe mumble a little.
I talk to myself as I work. Yes. I asked for expert opinion, but yeah, really, I just kind of mutter as I'm working on things, especially if things go wrong.
Yes, but then when you were there and I could hear things like that, generally it'd be like, Tracy, and we could talk things out.
Yes, because and sometimes I would do dramatic readings if we would get like rude letters.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, because we get some doozies.
Yeah.
Like, really? Oh, thanks, Mad Rye.
Amazing.
Mad Rye said it's a sign of genius. But she might be partial.
Right.
Um, yeah, we definitely got some doozies. Like, is it rude to talk about like a few of those?
You could go ahead and talk because we don't remember names anymore.
No, we
So,
don't. Like,
it's
we
just
at one point had when Trisha was the editor in chief, she had a wall of shame. And so we would get letters, like actual written letters, and we would hang, or we'd print off something and hang it up on the wall of shame. And some that come to mind were like the lady that I'll spill the tea. Spill the tea. There was I don't even want to say it was a lady because I don't actually remember if the person actually signed their name, but there was that person who would wrote in frequently too, more than once. And I remember that I remember the area that they came from, and, and Frances has spilled the details. There was a trick or treat bag in one of the magazines, and she wrote in that, and she just ripped out the pattern, wrote in Sharpie, "Candy causes cancer," and mailed it. Remember that?
I remember that one.
And then she wrote in again, I think on McCall's, because I think it was right after Gigi went on maternity leave and I took over McCall's. And there was a quilt on the cover that used the tulip pink. The one with the pirates, the pirate girls.
Yes.
And
Yes.
And the pattern had, I guess it had a star, or maybe the fabric had little eyes. And she wrote in that was evil. I say it was she, but I don't know if it was the actual she. I think when I did the dramatic readings, I did it in my voice. But that one it was something about a 6-pointed star and evil eyes. So that pattern was evil. And there was another one I thought of as well. Do you remember any of those other things?
I don't.
Oh, I remember. When I first started, I was working on quilting, and I got a letter from someone in prison, and they were actually writing to Mary Fons to tell her how pretty she was, and that they put on the quilty show on in the break room or whatever, the community room at the prison. And he really thought she was pretty. And it was a creepy letter. And
No kidding.
and he told her that he was innocent. He was definitely not in jail because he did anything. And I remember I Googled his name. And I found out that he was in there for murder. And it wasn't like, it was like a gruesome murder too. So yeah. So that was great.
Yeah.
Good times. So how
yeah.
that everyone is watching? The good times of working in a public place where people can see your picture and know your name.
Exactly.
But then there was also a sad one where I remember the person wrote in, and they thought Bonnie Lehman was still alive. And I mean, she had been gone for over 10 years at that point. Right. And I felt so bad. I had to write back to that person because they clearly didn't have like a computer or anything like that.
Right.
And it was a sweet, sweet letter. And so I had to write a note and tell them that she had died. And I felt really bad.
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, folks. I know we've got people out there. Are there any more questions for Lori before we start to wrap up? I'm so glad I got to hang out with you for this time, Lori.
Yeah.
I've told people that last year we did Quilters Rule the World, and there were what, six of us who
I
did
think that's right.
Zooms, and we would record, and we had very fun topics. So if anyone wants to hear like some of Lori's total gems of knowledge, I'll also drop that link in below so that you guys can watch Quilters Rule the World. Yeah, we were just all silly and punchy at times because it was super late sometimes, because we had like me on the East Coast, me and Debbie on the East Coast, and Michelle on the West Coast, and like a few people in the middle, like Terry and you in the middle. And it was getting the timing sometimes. Sometimes it was after 9 my time.
Yes, exactly. And that's when we started, is after 9 your time.
Yeah. So sometimes sometimes we would try and record too, and I'd be like, folks, like, I can't. I can't. I'm getting punchy. Or you'd see me just like cracking up, like, because I was getting the giggles. All right. So you have a question. What's your favorite smell?
Oh, man. The first two things that pop into my head are lilacs and lavender, but then right on the tail of that, popcorn.
Popcorn. Oh, that's an interesting smell. All right. So what's your opinion on popcorn jelly beans?
No.
I don't like those either. I just actually made caramel corn for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, that's yummy too.
I did that in the microwave. It was magical. And now everyone thinks I'm amazing because I can make caramel corn. All right. So let's see. Peekaboo just said, how's it going? What's the topic here today? I just entered the chat. We are talking about quilting. And we're here with Lori Baker, and she's been quilting for a really long time, and it has an incredible amount of knowledge and is super talented. Those are some fancy wall designs. Nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't even know what lilacs is definitely on my list of favorite smells. But then I also like if we're talking perfume, like I'm a sandalwood patchouli kind of girl.
Right.
I like kind of earthy tones for that, but I also just when I was a kid, we had enormous lilac bushes, and they were right outside my bedroom window. And so in the summertime, you could open the windows and the whole smell would just come wafting in, and it was one of my favorite things. And I know they're only there for a little while, but oh, so good.
We had a hedge of lilacs by our house, and it was probably 40 long.
Yeah, wow.
And when the lilacs started really blooming, my mom would go out and pick 3 huge bouquets, and all 3 of us kids would take our teachers a bouquet of lilacs. And we rode the school bus. So the school bus just, I mean, you couldn't get away from the smell of lilacs on the bus.
I love that smell. I love that smell. Fabulous. All right. Well, I'm out of questions, Lori. I'm sure I could think of more.
Well, yeah.
But I think we can probably wrap this up. And I'm so grateful for everyone who's joined the live, whether you're here on YouTube or it should have gone live on Instagram as well. Although now that I think of it, I don't remember actually seeing any comments from Instagram. So hopefully those all came through as well. But maybe there weren't any questions. I feel like it's a little harder to ask a question on Instagram.
Right.
But, oh my gosh. Peekaboo says, I've got endless amounts of questions. Well, drop a question and go ahead.
We'll answer.
Gosh, yeah. It was always such a wonderful pleasure. Like I can still remember vividly when I came in to interview and I had to sit down with you, and you had really interesting questions, and you were just really sweet and kind. And I probably knew like I should have been completely paranoid to talk to you because like you had started working with like Quilters newsletter, and
Yes.
I worked on that for years, which was one of my favorite magazines ever. It still
Yeah, for
hurts
mine
my
too.
heart. It still hurts
Yeah.
my heart that they shuttered that one.
Yep. Exactly.
But
But
what
thank
can you
you.
do?
I'm glad to hear that was the impression I made. I
Oh,
want to be I
100%.
want to be nice to new people. That's a good thing.
Oh, 100%. I will say that to spill more tea, like I definitely left, and when I went home and my husband asked me how it went and what I thought, I remember saying, I think that there are some people that could have problems with me. I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong. I knew that I was coming in and there was going to be like issues, just like, with the way that structures of
Right.
the office was, and stepping on toes and
Yep.
over magazines that other people were working on and that kind of stuff. And all right, so we got another question, but it doesn't have anything to do with quilting. Do you want to answer it, or do you want to wrap this up?
Well, maybe.
What's your favorite type of music? Have you been to any concerts or met someone famous? Like, that's a 10-minute answer for me.
I can't think of anybody famous that I've met. My favorite kind of music is praise music. I listen to all the time. I have a little Alexa Dot in my sewing room, and she plays music for me all the time. The only famous person I can think about is Jamie Lee Curtis.
You met Jamie Lee Curtis?
Well, we talked to each other.
Oh, nice.
This is a great story.
Okay, go.
Denver International Airport.
Mm-hmm.
She's at one. We're checking in, as I recall. So she's back here at this area, and I'm over at this one, and we both turned away at the same time and nearly ran into each other. I said, "Excuse me," and she said, "Pardon me." Isn't that cool?
I love it. I jokingly say that Harvey, I'm like, I was about to say Harvey Weinstein. I was like, that's not the right Harvey. Harvey Firestein and I are besties, but that's just because I ask him quilting questions on Instagram and he answers me.
Awesome.
So I've got that going for me. My favorite type of music is new wave or dark wave. My favorite band is The Cure. I've been to so many concerts. That's one thing that we always do. The last concert I went to was just a few weeks ago. We went to see Devo and the B-52s and Lena Lovitch, and that was amazing. And I've met lots of famous people. Lots of famous people. I lived in LA for a little while, so I met lots of famous people there, but I also went to school with a few famous people, and yeah. So let me think of an interesting story to do that. I met Kathy Bates, and I told her I wanted to be here when I grew up. I've met Reese Witherspoon, held my youngest because we went to the same church in LA. And I guess that's enough stories. I met lots and lots of famous people. So yeah. So there you go. All right. Well, it is 7:00 my time anyway. 6:00 yours.
Yes.
And so I think we will wrap this up. Lori, will you come back again if I ask you sometime in the future?
Yes, I will. I'd be glad to.
Yay! Yay. Okay, great. So if anyone else has any other questions for Lori, feel free to, later on, if you're watching the replay of this, just drop a question and I can make sure that Lori sees it and we'll get you an answer. And that was awesome. Thank you so, so much for joining me today, Lori.
I am so
I
glad
miss
you
you.
invited me.
Oh my
I
God,
miss you too.
so much.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Frances says, it's been lovely to see you both. Thank you for the chat. That's midnight. That's right, Frances. Frances is the one from Wales. Remember? She used to listen
Yes.
she used to write in to Quilt and Tell. Yes. Goodness. Thank you so much for staying up so late, Frances. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. And so I'll see you all on Monday. I have got an interview on Monday, actually, with Terry Lucas, who I did at the last live. We had some questions about color. And so we're going to show that. I'm also going to drop an extra bonus video next week of piecing some more, I guess, backgrounds for my Christmas stocking. So, yes, everyone take care. All right. Bye.